And now, Death Valley Days. Howdy, folks. I'm the Old Ranger, and I have another interesting true story for you about the historic Death Valley country. One of the familiar figures in pioneer days was the itinerant preacher who carried the word of God to remote spots that had no churches. Mojave was such a place back in the year 1883, a straggling desert settlement, terminus of the 20-mule team route from Death Valley, supply point for surrounding mines and ranches. It is there that this story takes place, a story I call the Sin Buster. It is a Saturday morning in Mojave, a Saturday which up to this moment has promised to be full of high jinks like every other Saturday.
I thought someone was knocking.
Yes, I'm John Brownell.
Hadn't you better ask the owner before putting up a sign like that?
Oh, that's all been arranged. I've paid him well for the rent of it.
That man has no scruples. Taking money from a preacher when he knows very well that...
Knows what?
Saturday night's a big night in Mojave. Folks come from miles around. Why, even the 20-mule team outfits try to fix it so they wind up here on Saturday.
Well, that's good. That's why I took the hall for a Saturday night, so I'd be sure of a big crowd.
They want to whoop it up. They're going to be mad as hops if they find out there's no dance tonight.
Say, you must be the young lady who plays the piano at the dance, Miss Ellen Todd.
I suppose he told you my services went with the hall?
No, but I would like it if you'd play the hymns for me.
Well, I haven't heard one for so long, I don't know if I remember any.
Well, I have a hymn book. We can go over them beforehand. Please say you will.
Well, I'll try. But you'd better be prepared for fireworks.
So I says to this little filly, I says, listen, sweet potato, well, get a load of note here, will you? All curried up for the dance tonight. You de cologne.
I got a whole bottle of it. This ought to fetch him.
You hear that, Gideon? How to charm the ladies.
Cut it off.
Catnip!
Turn it off. Don't waste it on the varmint.
Blast your heart. What ails you, Gideon?
It'd have griped you, too, if you had money owing you couldn't collect. 3 times now I rode all the way out to old man Murray's ranch. Each time he swears how he's broke. But I know he's got plenty cash to weigh, the old miser. And next time I'm collecting my due or else.
Hi, Ellie. How's the ivory tickler? All ready for tonight's dance?
Listen, boys, there's not going to be a dance tonight.
What do you mean?
A preacher's come to town, and he's rented the hall for a revival meeting.
Saturday night? He's got a lot of crust.
He can't do this to us.
Well, he paid good money for that hall.
Well, that's just too bad. Because he's going to play to an empty house.
Now, look, fellas.
No mealy-mouthed psalm-singing son of a gun's going to get his hooks in me.
He's not mealy-mouthed, and I'm playing the hymns.
What? Are you running out on us, too?
Well, a little religion wouldn't hurt any of you.
Sorry, sister. I don't want any part of it.
The only thing that'll bring me to my knees is a good crap game.
Let the old sin buster go someplace else to peddle his stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. All week long.
Yeah, I worked all week long in a committee to get this dance up, and look what happened. What are you trying to do?
Me with new boots, just a squeaking to dance.
And me smelling like a rose.
Let's see, soap, shoelaces, neats footer. I guess that's all.
How about some tobacco? Plug or by the tin?
No, thanks.
Against your religion?
No, just against my stomach. When I was a kid, I'd shoot a big plug once out behind the barn. Oh, it made me deathly sick. To this day, I hate to admit it, but it turns my stomach even to see other folks chew it. I hope I'll see you at the meeting tonight. And you gentlemen, too. It starts at 7.
Hey, I got an idea. You want to see some fun?
Sure.
Come on. Look at that. Give me that whole stack of chawing tobacco.
Well, that'd last you a year.
Do I get it or don't I?
Well, yes, heck yes.
Here's the hymn book. It's a bit dog-eared, I'm afraid, having been in my saddlebag for so many miles.
How long do you stay in one place?
Well, that all depends on how much I think I'm accomplishing.
I'm afraid you're going to find Mojave a very tough town.
Not everything in it.
Which hymns would you like me to play?
Well, let me see. This one, for one.
Oh, Rock of Ages. It really is beautiful.
Just wait till you hear the whole congregation singing it.
Mr. Brownell, suppose nobody comes.
Well, of course they'll come.
You really believe that?
If I didn't, I wouldn't be here.
I'm glad you have such faith, Parson, because...
You see, they're arriving already, early. I must get the lamps lighted. I have chosen as my text for tonight the 3rd verse of the 40th chapter of Isaiah. The voice of him that crieth in the wilderness. Prepare ye the way of the Lord. Make straight in the desert a highway for our God. A highway in the desert. You, my friends, are all desert folks. You've prospected it with your burros, staked homesteads on it, freighted long-line teams across it. You know what it's like. For the most part, a trackless waste. A few trails worn by the moccasin feet of Indians. At best, a wagon-rutted road in the shifting sands. But a highway. This is something unknown in the desert. A highway long and smooth and straight. My friends, in the hearts of all of us are wastes. Rough. Arid. Excuse me.
You men ought to be ashamed of yourselves for breaking up the meeting like that.
Well, could we help if the parson's got a weak stomach?
It almost made me sick to see you all sitting there chewing tobacco.
We'll throw it away now, Ellie. Come on, boys. Push the chairs back. Clear the floor.
Hey, on with the dance.
If you think I'm going to play for you to dance, you've got another thing coming.
Oh, now, Ellie.
And what's more, I'm not going to play for you next week or any Saturday night until you've apologized to the Reverend.
We were only joking.
We were just having a little fun.
Maybe you think a circuit preacher has it easy. Well, he doesn't. His work is hard and lonely, and the pay's next to nothing. He spent all he had to rent this hall, and the only reward was the feeling that he'd helped a few souls. And then rowdies like you come along.
All right. We're miserable sinners.
And we'll never go to heaven.
But you could go to the preacher and say you're sorry. Until then, this piano stays closed.
No sense of us all traipsing over to see him. We'll draw straws, and the fellow who gets the short one, well, he'll represent us all. Agreed?
No, I don't agree. You and Billy was the ringleaders. You ought to go.
This is a democratic country, Gideon.
Equal opportunities for all.
Draw. That's a long one. Long one. A long one. A long one. That's a long one.
You!
Gideon.
I ain't gonna draw.
You was chawing with all the rest of us, Gideon.
It was only because
Because you wouldn't pass up a chance to get a free chaw of tobacco. Draw.
The short one. Mr. Gideon Flack is elected.
You rigged it. It ain't fair.
How come I gotta be the goat? Maybe you need converting the most.
I ain't gonna be converted.
You're going to pretend to be. You're going to go to the parson and put up a bluff of confessing your sins and ask to be saved.
And no Welshing now. You savvy?
Don't blame yourself. You couldn't help it.
If there had only been one of them chewing, but rows of them.
Well, maybe next time you'll have to have them check their tobacco with their guns at the door.
Well, there won't be any next time. I spent every cent I had renting this place.
Yes, I know.
What troubles me the most is that I'll be leaving here without having done one bit of good. Just imposed on you.
Oh, it wasn't an imposition. I was glad to play for you.
Oh, could I have my hymn book back, please?
I'm looking for the parson.
Here I am. What can I do for you?
I want to talk with you.
Certainly. Come on in. Oh, don't go. Or is it something personal?
No. Just about my soul.
Well, sit down.
I don't know just how to begin. I never confessed my sins before. Oh, but I got them. Plenty of them. I drink and I cuss, and I raise Cain. I beat my wife and children.
Gideon, you're single.
Well, I do it in my mind's eye. That's the kind of stinker I am.
But you'd like to change.
I'm afraid it's too late.
It's never too late.
Yeah, but I'm kind of set in my ways.
Well, you've already taken the first step just by coming here.
But I got a heck of a long way to go.
You know what the Bible says? There is more joy in heaven over one sinner that repenteth.
You know something, Parson? You're the only one in town's been friendly toward me.
Friendship breeds friendship, Gideon. You're the only one who's welcomed me. You've put new heart into me.
I did? Well, don't you go expecting any miracles from me now.
You know, you've done much more for me than I have for you.
I have? Well, thank you, Parson.
Shake. And call on me anytime. Always glad to see you, Gideon.
Sure we rigged the drawing.
I wouldn't want to be in your shoes when Gideon Flack finds out. Say, maybe the parson will really convert him.
Gideon get religion? Why, he's the honoriest cuss in town.
And the most unpopular.
He's spending a lot of time with the parson, I notice.
He must be putting on a good act.
Miss Todd, what would you say if I told you I was going to hold another meeting?
John, I mean...
You know, it's nice to be called something besides parson. Maybe now I can call you Ellie.
If you like.
Ellie,
The meeting you spoke about.
Oh, yes. Well, I sold my watch, and I've rented this place again.
What makes you think the men will come this time?
Well, if for no other reason than to hear Gideon Flack.
Gideon Flack?
He's going to testify.
Then he's really been converted.
And I'm hoping some of the other folks in town will follow his example and see the light.
He's never been very popular. Folks always seem to have it in for him.
Well, perhaps he's misunderstood. Anyway, I can't leave Mojave until I give it one more try.
Oh, I'd be glad to play the hymns for you, John.
Thank you, Ellie.
Do you really think he'll give testimony?
Can't say. He's an unpredictable cuss.
He's promised.
I heard he went out of town till after Saturday.
He wouldn't do that to John.
So it's John now, is it?
The Reverend Brownell spent his last cent to rent that hall.
That makes him more of a fool if nobody turns up.
I'll be there.
And me.
And me.
Speaking of the devil.
We heard you'd left town.
I'm back.
I heard you was going to testify at the meeting tonight.
You hear a lot, don't you?
Everything that's going around.
Tell me, is it true?
Sure. Ha! I got my speech all ready.
Is that what you went away for, to work on it?
Could be.
You old hypocrite.
Maybe you'd rather I took my business somewhere else.
You never spend nothing here anyhow.
Well, I'm prepared to now. I'm buying me a whole new outfit. If I'm going to stand up at meeting, I can't look like a bindle stiff. I got to look saved.
Well, you need a good suit.
And a clean shirt.
Oh, and a nice tie.
Boots.
And a hat. Pass around afterwards.
Where's the sheriff?
Out of town. Why?
There's been a killing.
Who? Where?
Old man Murray, out at his ranch. I'm working for him. When he didn't appear this morning, I went into the house. Found him lying on the floor, shot to death, and his money sock beside him, empty. I rode here fast as I could to fetch the sheriff.
I'll go after him.
You stay here.
I was only volunteering.
As a close friend of the deceased, I suppose.
I don't like the tone of your voice.
There are a lot of things I don't like about you. I'll go back. Wait for the sheriff.
We'll try and get word to the sheriff.
He was away somewhere overnight. Of course, he might have been preparing his testimony for the meeting.
Knowing Gideon, that's pretty far-fetched. He hated old man Murray's guts. Remember the threats he made?
Said he'd collect the money next time or else. He's down at the stable feeding his horse. But I wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw a red-hot anvil with my bare hand.
Yeah, look how he pulled the wool over the parson's eyes, pretending to be reformed.
Nearly had me fooled. Then he comes in here with a wad of bills that would choke a mule.
And no explanation where he got them.
No.
We better keep an eye on him so he don't bolt before the sheriff gets back.
Here he comes. Look what I found out at the ranch. It was in the bushes where a horse had been tied. You recognize it?
Yeah.
It's Gideon Flax.
Where is he?
He's inside Luther's store now.
You ever see this gun before?
Where'd you get it?
Where you dropped it? At Murray's ranch?
That's a lie.
You admit it is your gun.
Yeah.
And you had it with you when you went out there last night.
No, I didn't carry any gun.
But you were out there.
Yeah, but I didn't kill him.
What'd you go out there for?
To collect some money he owed me.
Did you?
No.
So you pulled a gun on him.
I tell you, I didn't have a gun. I looked for it before I left, but I couldn't find it. It was gone.
Loaded?
Well, of course.
One empty cartridge. The bullet that killed Murray came from a .44 just like this.
How do you know that?
That's his gun.
I didn't fire it. He was alive when I left him. I swear it.
Look, Gideon, we all heard the threats you made about collecting that money or else.
How do you explain being so well heeled all of a sudden?
That was money I had in the bank.
You better confess.
I didn't kill Murray.
You won't need that necktie, brother. We got a better one for you.
Yeah. Sure have.
You can't hang me. I'm innocent. Let me go.
We'll take him out to the tree by the corral.
Yeah.
What's all this about? Where are you taking this man?
For the love of God, help me.
He committed a murder.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't believe it.
We got the evidence. His gun.
The money he stole.
That's not enough to go on.
Well, it's enough for us. Come on, boys.
Wait, man! Wait! This man may be guilty of a lot of sins. Who of us isn't? But he's not a murderer. I know. I've talked with him.
And everything he told you was a lie.
All that business about wanting to be converted, that was a fake.
We drew lots to see who'd go to you. And his conversion was a put-up job.
Boss. The man is still entitled to a fair trial. Now give him into my custody and I'll turn him over to the sheriff.
Like heck you would. Come on, let's get this business over with.
Get out. Yeah, come on. Wait. I'll make you a proposition. I'll fight you for custody of this man. I'll take on anyone you pick from this crowd. Well, come on, men. Where's your sporting blood?
Nothing doing. Come on.
We ain't had a good fight in a coon's age. What do we got to lose?
You can lick 'em hands down, Newt. Here's your chance.
All right. Square off, Parson. Just remember, preacher, you asked for it. And I ain't pulling any punches.
Come on. What's that left? Get him. Go get him. Belly.
You never learned that in church.
What's that left? Get him. Here comes the sheriff.
Sheriff! Sheriff! Get in, little boy!
What's going on here?
Just a fight, Sheriff.
Yeah? Looks more like a necktie party to me. Who've you got here?
The murder of old man Murray.
Apprehending criminals is my job. Anybody want to argue? So who gave you the right to take the law in your hands? Without a trial? Without even a warrant for this man's arrest?
If it's a warrant you want, go ahead and draw one up.
Well, I already have one. After completing my investigation at the Murray Ranch. Frank Short, I arrest you for the murder of your boss, James Murray.
Frank.
John, you were right.
Now I know I'm on the side of the angels. Let's go.
Gosh, we sure are sorry, Gideon.
Parson sure packs a wallop, eh, Newt?
He sure had me going for a minute.
Well, maybe there is something to having a Lord on your side. Might be worth looking into.
And that's the story. The voice of him that crieth in the wilderness and was heard.